Happy Tuesday!
My name's Nick.
My name is Alan.
And welcome
into the dungeon.
The brothers tell Lonewolf of their mission and of the events that have brought them to this meeting. He offers to show them a route through the Ikaya to the hall of the Brummalmarc, where Vonatan now resides as ruler. If the brothers can retrieve his guild staff, he promises to teleport them back to the coast in time to rendezvous with their ship. For the first time since the brothers fell into the caverns of the Kalte, they feel confident that their mission can now succeed.
Alright. So, right choice there.
We're turning to section 192. Okay, so there's not much text on section 192. It simply states, if you possess a glowing crystal, we're to turn to 267. If we do not, 44.
That's the crystal you picked up, isn't it? Or am I remembering incorrectly?
No, I picked up a little triangle, like a triforce, on a necklace. I don't think it was a crystal. No, that's right, yeah, it's a blue triangle necklace.
So a shining crystal. I have a crystal star pendant, but I don't suppose it means that either, does it?
No, I don't think so.
Glowing crystal. Okay, so we do not have a glowing crystal. We turn to section 44.
Let's hope this episode doesn't start with a death loop because we do not have said crystal.
Follow me,
says Lonewolf.
I've listened to the sounds of Ikaya for over a year. And the secret sliding doors and the hidden routes here are no mystery to me. I have learned more about the corridors and passages from the confines of my cell than Vonatan has discovered with all of his cunning.
That bodes well for us. We've been confused with so many levers and doors to get here. The brothers follow the old magician through a network of secret passages and tunnels, up long flights of stairs and into chambers dark and cold. At the top of one very steep staircase, they come across a stone door. A strange sickly smell is seeping from a small spy hole.
Kitchens!
Whispers Lonewolf, showing his distaste for Ikaya cuisine by sticking out his tongue and grimacing. The brothers can see that this secret door opens next to a fireplace in which burns a roaring fire. Hanging over the fire is a large stone cauldron of gruel. Two ice barbarians sit at a table nearby with empty bowls in front of them.
Okay, we have three options here now. If we possess a potion of black graveweed, we turn to section 79. If we possess a potion of green gallow brush, we turn to section 157. And if we possess neither of these potions, we can open the secret door and launch a surprise attack upon the unarmed ice barbarians by turning to section 270. So I don't know where we were supposed to get these potions from, but we do not have them.
That's correct. I'd like to emphasize here that it says launch a surprise attack, not attempt, so I'm hoping
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's good. If we've learned anything in these three books so far.
And it's unarmed barbarians.
Yeah, and now they'll get up and they'll have a sword beside the stool of the sat on or something. Well, here we go. Section 270.
The ice barbarians are taken completely by surprise. The brothers have killed one of them before the other has time to react to their attack. He is unarmed but determined to fight them.
We're gonna enter the combat skill and the combat ratios in our action charts. I mean, this is just one ice barbarian, but as you know by now, we double the endurance points. So this guy still has an endurance of 50, having doubled it from 25. Torin has a combat ratio of +7, and Lando has a combat ratio of +8. This should be a quickie. Who's gonna go first in this battle?
I'll roll first. Why not?
Here we go, first roll of the encounter and the session.
Ooh, not a bad start at all. I've rolled an 8. Torin charges at the barbarian. Still surprised, he is unable to ward off Torin's attack, as the scimitar Torin now wields slashes the front of the barbarian, revealing a gaping wound.
Lando, seeing that this barbarian has been caught off guard with his companion slain in front of him, Torin slashing at his chest. He's following up, jumping onto the table where they were sat in front of, and he's going to try and slash down with his sword.
Oh, by the way, I dealt 16 damage and took none in return.
Yeah, that was a good one. Hopefully, this is equally good. Hey, that's also an 8.
Yeah, so equally good indeed.
Lander's dealt 16 points of endurance damage, and likewise taken 0 in return. This barbarian is now down to less than half its endurance points. It's back over to Torin.
Okay, here goes. Ooh. Kind of hanged on the 8 for a while and then swapped to the 6, but still it's a good roll, I'd say. Let's see. Torin, seeing the barbarian stagger and fall to one knee after the crushing blow that Lander dealt to him, makes the most of his situation, and with the hilt of the scimitar, smashes the barbarian across the jaw, cracking it in two. The barbarian now takes a total of 12 damage, and Torin, after the exertion of the last battles and this one, feels a wince, a pain shoot up his arm as he takes 1 damage from the strenuous workout.
Lander's now seeing this barbarian almost down on one knee. He can sense that this battle is going to be over very quickly. He raises the Summersford up again. He's aiming straight for the throat of his adversary.
Oh, yeah, he's
gone.
Dead.
He's gone. That's another 8. That's 3 8s out of 4 rolls in this battle. Lander's Summersford makes purchase with the barbarian's neck as the sword goes clean through. He starts spluttering blood, gurgling as he collapses in front of the two brothers, knocking over the 2 empty bowls that were on the table on his way down to the floor.
Nice one, Lander!
Good job, Torin. Let's track these bodies out of the kitchen. Let's prop them up behind the secret door. Out of sight.
Good idea. Let me help you.
This should do, Torin. Let's go back and find Loikamar. As the brothers return, Loikamar is busy examining bottles of herbs that line the kitchen shelves. What are you doing, Loi? Have you found anything? He pockets several jars and mixes the contents of 2 others into a small stone bowl. He offers a handful of dry leaves to the brothers and urges them to eat them.
They will restore your strength, Lonewolves.
Thank you, Loikamar. The brothers eat the sweet-tasting herbs and feel a warm glow radiating throughout their bodies. This restores 6 endurance points to their current totals. Although saying that, Torin only lost 1 endurance point and Lander had lost 0, so we're both back up to full health. And anyway, we would have got a point back because this is a non-combat section, so...
I don't see why Loikamar thought we had the need for healing there. Must be senile.
I hope not. We're entirely depending on him to get us out of this fortress.
Anyway, we're not giving options here. We need to turn to section 301.
We're on the same level as the whole of Brummalmarc.
Whispers Loikamar, peering for a crack in the kitchen door.
It's at the end of this corridor.
2 ice barbarians stand beside the jewel-encrusted doors that lead to the Great Hall. They are covered from head to toe in strange bone armor, and armed with crystal swords. The old wizard steps back from the door.
We must deal with them silently and swiftly.
He takes 3 jars from his pockets and mutters a strange incantation as he mixes the contents together in a stone bowl. There is a pitcher of water on the table. He splashes a few drops onto the herbs, and wisps of blue smoke arise.
This will silence the guards if we can move it close enough to them.
We've got 4 options here. If we have the Kai discipline of camouflage, we turn to 122, which we do. If we have the Kai discipline of mind over matter, which we don't, we would have turned to 228. If we have the Kai discipline of hunting, which we do, we turn to 347. And if we had not possessed any of the above Kai disciplines, we'd have turned to 179. Now this is a strange one, because usually when it says if we have them and we're not given the choice, we go ahead with it. But in this case, it says if we have them, not if we wish to use them, but we've got 2 of them.
I imagine then that you need to decide which one you want to use, and you have both of them, so I would say it's your decision.
I mean, it would make sense that if we're trying to get there silently and closely, camouflage seems to tick that box. We're going to turn to section 122.
Loikamar hands Lander some strips of cloth with which to plug his nostrils. Lander takes a deep breath, picks up the bowl of smoking herbs, and leaves the kitchen. Using his Kai discipline of camouflage to blend in with the shadows of the corridor, Lander edges his way nearer and nearer to the unsuspecting guards. He leaves the bowl in the shadow of a pilaster and returns to the kitchen to wait for it to take effect.
Were you successful, Lander? Did they spot you?
I was successful. They didn't see me as far as I'm aware.
Nice one.
Well, it will only take less than a minute for the barbarians to collapse to the floor. Then we can make our approach to the Brummalmarc undetected.
Did you hear that? I think they've collapsed.
Let's go then. You lead the way, Lander.
Look at this great jewel door. Let me check if it's locked. It's unlocked. I can't believe I lock.
Finally!
Lonewolves, have your weapons ready, for you are about to enter Vonotar's chamber.
I'm ready for your turn.
Let's go, Lander!
And here we are, we're turning to section 173.
As Lander gently pushes the door ajar. The hall of the Brummalmarc is a vast chamber constructed of crystal blocks rising to a central plateau. On this stands the Brummalmarc throne, as old as Ikaya itself. There, Vonotar sits, surrounded by the tomes and eldritch trappings of a necromancer. He is wrapped in study and does not see you enter the hall.
Quiet, Lonewolves, we do not wish to... We do not wish to... Don't... We do not...
What? You dumb barbarians! Who dares disturb me?
He hisses, rising from the Brummalmarc throne, his eyes searching for an intruder. Upon seeing the brothers, he emits a horrified gasp and fumbles for his black staff. He has the look of a criminal who has been discovered in the act of some dreadful crime. Quickly the brothers raise their weapon and begin to climb the crystal pyramid. They know that they have little time to reach him if they are to overpower and capture him alive. The brothers reach the edge of the plateau in time to see a wide circle of blocks descending around the throne. Between them and Vonotar, a deep moat is forming. Then from the depths of the moat, the brothers can hear a ghastly, inhuman gibbering. They brace themselves for combat, but are totally unprepared for the horror that now faces them. From out of the dark slithers a huge, ghoulish, green monster. Its deformed head is a mass of tentacles and suckers that ooze a putrid black slime. At the center of this writhing mass, a hideous yellow eye pulsates. Vonotar has control over this monster, and he is directing it towards the brothers. Damn! Looks like a hideous kraken creature.
Yeah, it's got paws though, which is a bit strange.
Oh yeah, is it like large...
It's like feet with suckers on it.
Yeah, weird hands. So we have three options. If we possess an effigy, we turn to section 34. If we do not possess an effigy, but do possess the Summersford, we turn to section 164. And if we have neither, we turn to 200.
Fortunately for us, we do possess a Summersford, so we're going to turn to section 164.
Oh, sugar!
Wow.
Okay, we've turned to section 164 and just seen the combat skill and endurance of this monster, but we'll get to that in a second.
The tentacle horror rises from the moat and attacks the brothers. They glimpse Vonotar raising his black staff and fixing his gaze towards Loikaimar. He is attacking the old magician with his mind force. The brothers realize that if Loikaimar is killed, the secret of the guild staff will die with him. Before the brothers can do anything else, they must fight the monster to the death. This is an Akra Neonor. One of the undead. Yes, one of the undead, the Summersford! Woohoo! Remember to double all endurance points lost by this enemy during combat due to the power of the Summersford.
Nice.
Well, this monstrosity has a combat skill of 23.
Oof, harsh.
And a doubled endurance, because we are doubling it, as you know by now, of 100 endurance.
Ooh, tough cookie, but luckily we have the Summersford.
We're just going to enter this in our action charts, and we need to very quickly calculate the combat ratios. So our combat ratios respectively are a -2 for Torin and a -1 for Lander. Not too bad, could have been better.
Not too bad, but we do need to roll high here, so that we don't take too much damage.
Yeah, fortunately we're both on full health,
You go first. I started the last fight, so it's only fair.
Alright, here we go. We're picking up exactly how we left off in the last battle, with Lander rolling an 8. That's my third 8 in a row.
Fantastic.
Lander presents the Summersford to this monstrosity by first holding it in front of his chest, then outreaching his hand, pointing the blade at his rival, before raising it high above his shoulders and head, and slashing down at one of his tentacles. Lander manages to deal 18 points of endurance to this beast, whilst taking only 1 in exchange.
That's a very good start, and that's obviously doubled as Lander wields the Summersford. I don't expect Toring will deal as much damage, but let's see what I roll.
Well, hopefully you do, because you have the same bracket of combat ratio, so as long as you roll an 8.
Yes, but I do not double my damage.
Oh yeah, that's correct. Big old goose egg, come on.
Ooh, not good.
Oh,
Not good. Toring has just rolled a 2 as he rushes towards the beast that has appeared out of the moat. He slips in a bit of water as he brandishes the bone scimitar above him. As he falls, he manages to catch one of the tentacles of the beast that smashes face first onto the ground. He deals a measly 3 damage and takes 5 in return after smashing his face.
Torin, get up! Lander's panicking as he sees his brother fall face first. Wielding the Summersford again, this time he swirls it around the top of his head, trying to do a barbarian style attack.
We need a 10 here. Oh, hello.
Wow, that's 4 8s in a row for Lander. This time the Summersford slashes the upper body of this horrific beast, again dealing 18 points of damage and only taking 1 in exchange. The beast is down to a, still worryingly, 67 points of endurance. We need Torin to roll some goose eggs.
Yeah, I can't keep rolling that low or I'm dead. Okay, another 8. What are the odds of rolling so many 8s today? But Toring stands up, slightly bashful and ashamed of his performance so far. He musters up his confidence and runs up one of the tentacles of the monster and plunges the scimitar into its foul eye. Torin deals a total of 9 damage to the beast, and as he jumps off, slightly bends his ankle, click, and takes 1 endurance point of damage.
Torin's down to 18 out of 24. The monster is down to 58.
Ooh, not too bad, not too bad. He's almost halfway there. Couple of goose eggs and we got this.
Yeah, Loikaimar is not really doing much here.
No, he's still sneezing.
Here we go.
Oh, not bad.
It
not
hovered
bad.
on the goose egg, then jumped delicately onto another 8.
We'll take it.
But it's a 7.
Yeah, we'll take it though. Let's not get greedy.
So that's 16 points of endurance on the monster. So the monster's now down to 42 points of endurance, and Lander's down to 29. Lander, having seen the foul beast's eye being pierced by Torin, he takes that opportunity to try and slash its underbelly, but one of the tentacles manages to wrap around his arm momentarily, one of the suckers drawing blood. But he recoils, and he's ready for another round. But first, it's over to Torin.
Toring readies himself, waiting for an attack of the foul beast.
Oh, yeah!
Yes! I had my heart in my throat there because he sort of bounced on the 1 for far too long for my liking.
Yeah, then went to a 0 and then kind of lingered there for a bit and moved on, and we were like, come on, and it fell on another 0. So it went from a 1 to a 0 to another 0. 0 being 10, by the way.
Yeah, that's amazing.
As Toring had prepared for the oncoming attack of the foul beast, he sees the monster draw back one of his tentacles, attempting to crush him under it. As the tentacle is about to make contact with Toring, he sidesteps and casually holds out the scimitar, allowing the monster to impale himself on his sword. The monster is dealt 11 endurance points of damage, and Toring takes none.
Lander now holds the Summersford up almost like a spear, kind of like Aragorn in that charge at the gates of Mordor, and he's going to rush at the head of this Akra Neonor.
Oh, painful.
Yeah, it's not great.
It was on an 8. It caressed the 8 for a second and fell on a 3.
Yeah, that's not great. It's not good at all. Lander, rushing, steps on a bit of the ooze that the monster has excreted, his feet giving way as he tumbles onto the floor. Bludgeoned by one of the tentacles, he panics and manages to slash in self-defense, dealing 8 points of endurance, but taking 4 from the crushing blow.
Still a decent amount. In between the 11 I did last time and the 8 you've done now, the monster is down to 23 now. 23 endurance points, which is, I believe, very manageable.
Yeah, it should be fine now, he says as the ones start rolling in now.
Let's hope not.
Lander's now down to 25 out of 33.
As the Akraneonor winces and pulls his tentacle away from Thorin's scimitar, as Thorin grabs onto the very same tentacle. As he's being pulled up, at the zenith of the tentacle's arc, Thorin releases his grip from the tentacle, and with his full weight behind his scimitar, again tries to pierce the sickly eye of the monster.
Oh, you do me dirty. You do me dirty.
You're doing me dirty. I was on a goose egg. I was laying that goose egg.
On 2 goose eggs.
I was laying 2 goose eggs. And then suddenly, it mocks me. It taunts me. It calls me names. And it falls on a 4. So, the monster quickly retreats as Thorin only glances his eye and falls through onto the floor beneath. Thorin only deals 4 damage to the monster and takes a whopping 5 as he crashes onto the concrete floor beneath.
Oh dear. However, the monster is now down to 18 endurance points, so we're almost there.
If you roll a big old goose egg, we got this.
Yeah, no pressure.
I think a 9 would do it too.
Lander rushes towards Thorin, grabs him by the scruff of the neck and gets him back on his feet. Raising the Summersword again above his head, he's going to try and hack off the tentacle that's now coming down in an arc towards the brothers. Come on.
Whoa, okay.
Could be better, could be worse.
Yeah, we can work with this.
That was a 6 on the random number table. The Summersword almost makes its way entirely through the tentacle, leaving it hanging by a thread as he deals 14 points of endurance damage. However, some of that putrid ooze falls on Lander's eyes, momentarily blinding him as he tries to wipe it away, just in time to see one of the other tentacles come down towards him and Thorin. He sidesteps, only being grazed for 2 points of damage.
Surely now, it's a last hit. The monster only has 4 endurance points left. I keep forgetting its name, so I just call it the monster. And Landa is down to 23 endurance points.
This is all down to Thorin now. This could be another killing blow. You're racking up these kills.
Unfortunately, we are not taking note of that.
Oh, it might not be the case.
I rolled a 4 again. Landa and Thorin managed to sidestep that last attack from the monster. Thorin readies himself for another attack, looks at Landa as if to say, I've got this. But whilst he is distracted, the monster advances with his gaping maw. He bites down on Thorin and swallows him whole.
Thorin! Thorin!
As Landa momentarily panics, suddenly a great screech can be heard from the monster as it starts spluttering and spewing blood out of his mouth. As he convulses, he coughs up Thorin that sprawls, bloodied and full of muck, onto the floor before the monster. The Akraneonor continues to convulse and screech as he slowly retreats back into the moat. With one last convulsion, he floats limply on the water. Thorin dealt 5 damage to the beast's endurance points, killing him, but was dealt 4 in return, as he was momentarily eaten up.
Lander rushes towards Thorin. Thorin!
Lander!
Thorin! Are you alright, Thorin?
Yes, I'm okay. I've seen better days, but I'll make it.
Fortunately for the Lonewolves, they have won the combat in 5 rounds or less. Just to clarify, it's 5 rounds, which means that both of us attack. So we've done it in less than 5 total rounds. So we're turning to section 272. Had we taken longer, we would have gone to section 324. As the vile Akraneonor quivers and dies, Vonatar breaks off mind combat and runs back towards the Brummalmarc throne. Loikaimar is badly shaken, but he has survived the ordeal. He quickly joins the brothers at the edge of the moat and casts a handful of herbs down into the darkness. Within seconds, a mass of vines and creepers coil upwards to form a bridge. The brothers are halfway across the bridge when Vonatar suddenly reappears, a crystal rod held high in his hand. He takes aim at the massive creepers, and a chilling cone of frost hurtles from the rod's tip.
And that, my friends, is where we're gonna call it an episode.
Ooh.
So I hope you enjoyed that, and remember, tune in next Tuesday for your next helping of Into the Dungeon.
But if you can't wait a whole other week to find out what happens to Lander and Torin, be sure to visit www.i2td.com, follow the links there to our social media pages, on our Discord server. Why not pop by and say hello? Whilst you're on our website, make sure to follow the special link there, the little coffee cup that takes you to our Buy Me a Coffee page, where you can make a one-off donation and buy us a potion, as they're called, which in this game we're using as rerolls.
If you do not wish to become a member or donate, or you simply cannot, do not worry, you can still help us out by visiting all those social media links that Nick said were in the website. Also liking our stuff, maybe leave a review on your podcast player of choice, and as always you can also share the word of Into the Dungeon. Tell your friends, your family, your lovers, and your haters.
And that brings us on to the end of the episode club.
The last ones standing.
You know what to do. We're going to give you a password. You're going to use said password in a comment on our Discord server, specifically in the channel The Last One Standing, where you get to compete for the esteemed title of El Quillo Masferrada. So, Big Al, do you have a password for us today?
Swallow.
Oh dear. This one's not going to be PG on the server. I'm looking at you, Valerie.
So swallow, that's the password, because obviously two things I'd say. Torin was swallowed by the creature, and also Vonator had to swallow his pride because we defeated his stupid pet or whatever that was.
Three things, because we also swallowed that potion that Loikaimar gave us as well.
True. So there it is. Just use it in a comment, and specifically in the channel that Nick said, The Last One Standing, on our Discord server. So if you're not there, make sure you do join. You can find the links, as we said before, on i2td.com. And that's it. We look forward to reading all of your comments, so thank you very much for participating. And with all that said, I think it is time to bid farewell and catch you next time as we delve into the dungeon. If we possess a potion of black grey wheat...
She sells seashells on the seashore. But is it?
We are on the same level as the whole of Brummalmarc.
Brummalmarc.
Let's proceed with caution. Look at this great jiggle door.
Sorry, looks like jiggled door. Look at this great jiggled door. Torin, let's go.
Se tira un peo.
Let's go. Touring, let's go, no pegan, does it? Touring.
No,
releases.
Sí, releases o let's go.
Releases.
Es que como parate, let's go.
Que estoy pensando ahead.
As he deals 14 points of endurance damage, whilst getting suckered by one of those suckers.